Hello and welcome to our brand new show, Firstpost Spotlight, where we bring you stories that matter to you from all across the world. From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, we shed light on issues that shape our world. I'm Alison Lagrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin with the top headlines. Firefighters in California continue to battle at least 5 major wildfires, which have killed 5 people so far and destroyed 1,900 structures, and now threaten the famous Hollywood landmark. After meeting with Donald Trump in Florida, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni says that the United States will not use force to take Greenland or the Panama Canal, saying his comments were aimed at China. Russian firefighters continue to battle for a second day to put out a massive blaze caused by a Ukrainian drone strike on a key oil depot in the Saratov region. Thousands turn up to welcome Mozambique's opposition leader Venancio Mondlane as he returns to Maputo after over 2 months in exile to challenge the disputed October election results. And the board of one of India's wealthiest temples, the Tirupati, apologizes after 6 people were killed and dozens were injured in a stampede as they queued up for tickets to a religious festival. Hello and welcome. Let's take a look at our top story: economic turmoil, a hotbed of terrorism, and of course, political instability. Pakistan, in recent years, has remained in a state of polycrisis. And since 2018, one man has been at the center of it all: Imran Khan. The former Pakistani Prime Minister is currently lodged at the Rawalpindi Jail. Now he is reportedly being offered house arrest instead of being locked up inside a high-security prison. Imran Khan faces more than 150 cases. These include charges of corruption, inciting violence, sedition, contempt of court, blasphemy, and leaking state secrets. He also faces rioting and terrorism charges in connection with the violence that followed his arrest in May of 2023. Imran Khan's sister, Alima Khan, claims that her brother received several offers from the Shehbaz Sharif government through the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa chief minister. One of these included shifting Imran Khan to his Bani Gala residence. Now, according to reports, Imran Khan has rejected this offer, saying that political prisoners, including his party PTI leaders and supporters, must be released first. Imran Khan has also claimed that he was given a chance to leave the country on exile for 3 years, but he declined. The government also allegedly agreed on providing Imran Khan's party with political space if he makes a deal. Multiple offers by the government reportedly came with one major condition for Imran Khan, and that is to remain silent. So why is the Shehbaz Sharif government trying to silence the former Prime Minister and PTI leader Imran Khan, who has been behind bars since August of 2023? It's because Imran Khan's repeated calls for protest against the government and the establishment have brought Pakistan to a standstill time and again. His party leaders and supporters have been carrying out massive protest rallies across the country, demanding his release and accusing the government of authoritarianism and stealing the mandate in the elections last year. These recurring protests and widespread unrest put the Shehbaz Sharif government on the back foot as they snowballed into a national security challenge amid a major economic turmoil. So the government has decided to hold talks with Imran Khan and his party to ensure stability returns to Pakistan. Imran Khan's party has been demanding unrestricted access to their leader. This is the latest bone of contention. The party leaders say that they were not being allowed to meet Khan, and when they were, the meeting room was under surveillance and was allegedly being monitored by intelligence agencies. The other demands include release of under-trial political prisoners and a transparent investigation into the 9th of May and 26th of November 2023 violence. These formal talks began last month, and after days of uncertainty and wrangling, they remain at a stalemate. In the latest, Imran Khan's party has now agreed to participate in a third round of talks. They have also agreed on the submission of written demands, which they earlier denied. So given the unending poly-crisis in Pakistan, will the Shehbaz Sharif government be forced to bow to Imran Khan's demands? Will Imran Khan walk out of jail into house arrest? Or will Pakistan's fate continue to hang in the balance? Now, for more on this, we have with us journalist and strategic affairs expert Hamid Al-Mashriqi, who is live with us from Islamabad. Thank you and welcome to Firstpost.
Thank you, Alison.
Now, what does the reported offer of house arrest at the Bani Gala signify about the government's approach toward Imran Khan and the PTI's demands? Is this a genuine concession or a strategic move?
Actually, we have to understand that there is no doubt that the current Shehbaz Sharif government in Pakistan is under a lot of pressure due to a large, majority of the people in Pakistan are supporting Imran Khan, and they believe that the election results could have been changed, and it was a very large majority for Imran Khan supporters in terms of their votes. And on the other hand, if you look at the situation, Imran Khan is being accused of many cases, and there are so many hundreds of cases are against him. Which Imran Khan and his political party, they believe that all these cases are politically motivated, and that's why they don't, agree on any of the allegations against Imran Khan or his senior leadership. At the same time, there is no doubt that government of Pakistan wants to come out of this economical turmoil, and to achieve the economical stability, they need to bring the political stability. And without Imran Khan or his parties, being agreed or some kind of settlement on running the current government smoothly, there is no possibility of achieving any, stability in political situation in Pakistan. So hence, there is no doubt that he has been offered to house arrest in Bani Gala, and he has been offered other things. But the thing is that it will be a kind of a shock, or it will be a setback for Imran Khan's politics and political popularity if he will agree on any of these options, because he believes that the government have to release him and drop all the charges, or at least release him on bail, where he can freely move and do his political activities freely. But that would be very adverse for the government, because if Imran Khan comes into public, there will be a very large number of gatherings and protests against against the current government.
Yes.
So it is a very catch-20 situation for the current government, that how to resolve it, because Imran Khan is not agreeing at all on house arrest under current situation.
Right. And Hamid, given the ongoing stalemate in the negotiations, what are the key sticking points between the PTI and the government? Are there any indications of either side being willing to compromise?
To achieve the success in any kind of negotiations, the both parties must be willing to compromise. That is the basic principle of any kind of, I would say, talks. And on the other hand, there must be some middleman or middle party to do the negotiations on to bring them on some common grounds. At the moment, they both are on both sides, government and PTI, is on their extreme stance. And since they both are on their extreme stance, it is very unlikely that there would be any agreement on current talks to resolve the political stalemate. But I believe that the people are hopeful, and to achieve the stability in economy, government have to do a lot to make these, talks successful. And I believe that, on the other hand, PTI would have to show the flexibility as well. And they have only two demands. One is release of Imran Khan and all the prisoners, which they believe they are all politically motivated prisoners in the leadership. And on the other hand, they demand judicial commission or investigation on last November and May incidents.
Yes. And how might the outcome of these talks, or the lack thereof, impact Pakistan's political stability and the PTI's position in the country's political landscape moving forward?
As I said to you, that at the moment PTI is enjoying a large majority and popularity in Pakistan, and that's why they cannot risk or jeopardize that support from the public. They have a government in one of the provinces, KPK, as well, and they have a large supporters majority in other provinces as well. So they believe that they have been struggling for fair and free elections, and then they believe that due to those, February elections, allegations of rigging are there on the election commission and the government. So they believe that there has to be a proper investigation and judicial commission against the election results. So I mean, there are so many, appeals pending in the courts as well against a lot of election results. So it is currently, I would say that the government is in a weaker position to negotiate. But on the other hand, the PTI have been crushed and have been suffering a lot within last 2 days due to the 2 years, due to the operations against their political leadership, their workers, their voters. So I
Yes.
think that PTI has to show a little bit flexibility to remain in the power, or at least to remain in the political arena, because otherwise, if they will carry on
Yes.
facing this kind of pressure, there will be very tough time for politically PTI to survive while Imran Khan is in the jail. So this is the thing which PTI has to consider as well.
Right. Right. Hamid, thank you very much for being with us on First Post.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And moving on to our next story now, India has held its first high-level talks with the Taliban since the group's 2021 Afghanistan takeover. These talks were held in Dubai, where Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri met with the Taliban's acting foreign minister, Maulawi Amir Khan Muttaqi. The meeting underlines efforts by both India and Afghanistan to expand bilateral cooperation. The two sides discussed trade, humanitarian aid, developmental projects and sports, among other subjects. Now, the Indian Ministry of External Affairs, or the MEA, said, and I quote, "In view of the current need for development activities, India has decided to consider engaging in Afghanistan's development projects in the near future." Among the key points of discussion was the Chabahar port. The two sides agreed to promote the use of Chabahar port in Iran for trade and commercial activities. The port is a key transit route for supplying goods to Afghanistan. India also has significant investment in the strategic project. Now, the two delegations evaluated the ongoing Indian humanitarian assistance program in Afghanistan. New Delhi agreed to provide Kabul with further material for support for the health sector and rehabilitation for refugees. The Taliban minister thanked the Indian leadership for the support of the Afghanistan people. Now, the Indian delegation also raised the country's concerns over regional security. The Afghan minister assured full cooperation in that regard. The two sides also agreed to strengthen sporting ties, especially cricket, which is popular in both countries. The talks come after India sided with the Taliban in condemning Pakistani airstrikes on Afghan territory. The Taliban government claims that the December 24th strikes killed 46 people, including children. India and Afghanistan aim to strengthen ties. India has not officially recognized the Taliban government in Afghanistan. However, in recent months, India's joint secretary in charge of the Pakistan, Iran and Afghanistan desks held a meeting with the Taliban's defense minister. New Delhi also allowed the Taliban regime to appoint a new consul general in the consulate of Afghanistan in Mumbai. India shut its embassy in Kabul after the Taliban took over Afghanistan in 2021. The ties were down to the presence of a technical team at the Indian mission in Kabul. The ties have remained dormant since then. New Delhi maintains that its policy toward Kabul is driven by humanitarian causes. So far, India has sent 50,000 metric tons of wheat, 300 tons of medicines and 27 tons of earthquake relief material for Afghan people. India also supplied COVID-19 vaccines to Afghanistan, among other medical items. And shifting focus to China now, the second largest economy in the world has been battling severe challenges in recent years. And to combat this crisis, the Xi Jinping administration has been devising several schemes, many of which are being labeled as desperate by experts. In the latest, to take pressure off the country's slowing economy, China is now betting on microwaves and other kitchen appliances. Under the scheme, Chinese citizens can avail state-sponsored discounts up to 20% when they exchange old appliances for brand new rice cookers, microwaves, dishwashers, and water purifiers. Beijing has earmarked a budget of $11 billion to expand this home appliance trade-in scheme. The scheme previously covered heavyweight consumer items such as electric and hybrid vehicles, as well as smartphones, televisions, and tablets. Kitchen appliances are the latest addition to the list. Sounds bizarre, doesn't it? But China views this as a foolproof economic plan. Beijing aims to revive its weak consumer demand and to drive an uptick in spending with this scheme. China's Ministry of Commerce has already hailed the latest scheme, saying that the policies have boosted sales of big-ticket items such as home appliances and cars. The country's top economic planning body says the schemes were launched in March but have already shown visible effects. In recent months, China has been pushing more measures to support its domestic economy as its exporters face growing challenges. China is struggling to recover completely from the impact of the COVID shutdown and is still waiting for its economy to rebound to the pre-pandemic levels. China's GDP growth dropped from 6.5% before the pandemic to just 5.2% in 2023. China is due to announce its 2024 economic growth figures next week, which Beijing says it expects will be around 5%. The spending power is on the decline due to weak consumer demand. Less and less Chinese people have disposable income. At the same time, China is facing a demographic challenge. Its workforce is shrinking due to a rapidly aging population. The impact of China's COVID-19 restrictions also coincided with a staggering real estate crisis that led to the wealth loss of over $18 trillion. The real estate decline cost China millions of jobs, hidden state debts, and loss of demand for products such as steel. The sector was previously a significant driver of economic growth. To add to its troubles, China now also faces a looming threat of trade tariffs from the United States. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has threatened to impose a 60% tariff on Chinese-made products, which means that the worst for Chinese economy could possibly lie ahead. Now, Chinese President Xi Jinping, in his New Year's address, admitted the uncertainties in external environment as a challenge for the country's economy.
The current economic operation now faces some new conditions, including challenges of uncertainties in the external environment and pressure of transformation from old growth drivers into new ones. But we can prevail with our hard work.
China's economy is already burdened by multiple woes, and with Donald Trump back at the White House, those woes could turn into a full-blown crisis. The question remains, is Xi Jinping's China prepared for what is yet to come? And for our final story today, we turn to the modern-day land of the unknown, North Korea. With strict controls, bans, and censorship, North Korea has a long not-to-do list for its people, and its leader Kim Jong-un seems keen on expanding it further. The latest addition to the list is hot dogs. Yes, you heard that right. North Korea has banned its people from eating hot dogs. Not just this, serving and consuming the sausage is now an act of treason in North Korea. People caught selling or cooking hot dogs could be sent to North Korea's infamous labor camps. Now, the latest ban comes as part of Kim Jong-un's crackdown on Western culture. Inspired by the United States, hot dogs have become quite popular in South Korea. So the North wants its people to stay away from it, as it says such food items represent values unaligned with the North Korean way of life. Hot dog isn't a first food that Kim Jong-un has banned in his country. Now earlier, the tteokbokki, a South Korean dish made of rice cake served in a soupy sauce, was also banned. Jjigae has also been known as the army-based stew that fuses ramen and kimchi with American cheese, is also not allowed in North Korea anymore. This one was created in the 1950s when US soldiers in the region discarded meat and South Koreans used it to create stews. It had crossed the border into North Korea in around 2017. Not just food, even fashion is tightly controlled by the state in North Korea. People are forbidden from wearing short skirts, jeans, high heels, and clothing with logos. Bold hair colors are banned too. Citizens are only allowed to have hairstyles approved by the government. Now, if you thought the list was over, hold on, because there is more. Consumption of foreign TV is also not allowed. Foreign books, foreign movies are banned. Watching or distributing South Korean entertainment is punishable by death. People are also barred from possessing satellite dishes. All they are left with is state-sponsored television channels. Now, divorce is also frowned upon in the country and is treated as an anti-socialist act. Those seeking divorce must obtain government approvals. They may also face penalties, including being sent to labor camps for a minimum of 6 months. In December of 2024, the North Korean regime even warned its people that those celebrating Christmas could face execution. North Korea is currently the second most censored country in the world after Eritrea. Is Kim Jong-un now competing for the top spot? Whether he is competing or not, freedom is certainly a word that remains missing from dictionaries for the North Koreans. And that's all we have on the show for today. We will see you again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.
Hello and a very warm welcome. I am